Two teams playing some of their best football as of late. Battle in Plain, Minnesota. North Texas SC on the road taking on Minnesota United FC2 in match day 13 in MLS Next Pro. James Hadnot here with you. Thank you so much for joining us. And for North Texas, a team that has been the talk of the Western Conference since the beginning of the year, currently sitting at second in the table and winners of their last three matches. The big one, a 4-0 victory over LAFC2 last time out. And for Minnesota, a team that enjoyed a lot of success in the month of May, 3 wins out of 4 matches, but fell last time out to Sporting Kansas City, and some of their early season woes creeping back up on them. In that last match, head coach Jeremy Hall saying that we were not happy with the performance because we had fixed some things in the month of May. Here's what the Western Conference table looks like right now. St. Louis at the top after their win this week versus Tacoma. North Texas has a chance to regain the top spot in the West if they can pull out 3 points here on the road. Minnesota currently sitting 10th, but they have 2 and 3 games in hand among some of the top teams in the Western Conference, so still a lot to look forward to in this 2024 season. Here's the home lineup for head coach Jeremy Hall. 5 changes from that loss 4-3 to Sporting Kansas City. 8 players at the first team level gone for international duty, which means that some players made some first team appearances. Jordan Adebayo-Smith, one of them, and so 2 new players in the front line for Minnesota United. Those to mention, Luik Menzanvi and Darius Randall, the 17-year-old. Now we take a look at the North Texas SC lineup for Coach John Gall, a 3-4-3. 3 changes from their 4-0 victory. Nico Gordon, who has been called up to international duty, is replaced by Mads Westergrain. Michael Collodi is serving a red card suspension, so Victor Daru makes his first start in goal for North Texas. And Logan Farrington, the number 3 overall pick in the 2024 draft from Oregon State, will start at the number 9 position for North Texas, his first MLS Next Pro start. He's made 2 starts for the first team this season. Farrington, the reigning player of the year in the Pac-12, scoring 15 goals last year at Oregon State. That led the Pac-12. And for North Texas, a team that is one of the best defensively as well. 8 goals allowed this year. That is the least allowed in all of MLS Next Pro. Beautiful day in Blaine, 68 degrees. And Gerald Flores blows his whistle. We're off between North Texas SC and Minnesota United FC2. Towards Isaiah Parker. He can't control. And now Diego Garcia being hounded by Jesse Kahn. That's a foul. North Texas in their road white kits, and Minnesota in their all black kits. Early on for Minnesota, they'll look to stay compact. Coach Hall sharing with us that earlier this year when they were giving up goals, that the team was still just trying to figure things out with a new style of play, a new game model. Of course, there have been changes at the first team level. Eric Ramsey, the new head coach for Minnesota United, and a new sporting director, Khalid El Ahmad. And so as the team was just trying to reconfigure things, felt that his team played much better last month, and that has been a key as he really talked with the team about what they needed to be doing and retaught them over the course of the month, and they were very successful. North Texas right now an early corner in the 2nd minute of play. Ball comes in towards the near post. It drops out of the gloves of Oliver Kelly, and he'll fall to the pitch to control it. As you see, this ball was whipped in, and Ahmet Korcha almost got ahead to it, which could have sent it goalward. And the deflection really could have impacted things. Oliver Kelly is in goal for Minnesota, making his second appearance, an academy player at 19 years of age. His only other appearance was the 2-1 loss to St. Louis at the beginning of the month of May, but that's when Coach Hall said this team turned a corner. They then rattled off 3 straight wins before falling last time out to Sporting Kansas City 4-3. Back to Darub, goalkeeper for North Texas, who played with the Flamengo Academy coming up. This is his first start after playing the final 11 minutes of action after the red card from Collodi. Isaiah Parker coming down the touchline. Farrington, next man with it, looking for options. This ball will drop back for Diego Garcia. Parker towards the end line, cuts it across, headed high into the air. Not dealt with completely as Diego Garcia looks to get on top of it. He cannot. The ball sent deep to Randall and tapped out by Korcha. Tyreek Scott really working, coming back defensively. He's whistled for a foul. Coach Goff saying that Scott is what starts our defense. Defense that has allowed just 8 goals this year, which leads all of MLS Next Pro. And when asked about how the team has been able to stay so stingy defensively, says it's from back to front. Everyone is involved. This ball is airmailed over and out by Tamur Ipses. But Scott is the linchpin. He starts things at the top of the press, and when he is engaged, making things difficult on an offense trying to build, that is when North Texas has been able to find some early opportunities, winning the ball higher up the field. The away side trying to build, losing possession. A ball back with North Texas. Squirts out towards Isaiah Parker. Fonseca trying to enter towards Farrington. Minnesota takes over. And Kelly boots it deep. That's a foul on Mazanvi. Ball almost slid through to Loic Mazanvi, but he was offside. North Texas and Minnesota, teams with similar offensive output this season. North Texas with 18 goals and Minnesota with 17. Deca to Fonseca. Now Parker Trying to push the ball through. It's not there. And Westergrain limits the attack. Ipses goes in to Romanchin. Now Tamer Ipses. And that's well done by Isaiah Parker just to step in front and force the contact. Ondeka. Westergrain. And Ahmet Korcha plays direct. Farrington onside, hits the post. A beautiful ball over the top to Logan Farrington. And this is a young man that is a consistent goal scorer, takes it off the knee, shoots it off the volley, and cannot sneak it inside the post of the outstretched arm of Kelly. He was beat, but his best friend, the post there to help in the save. Mezanvi tries to cut the ball back to Darius Randall. As the two teams play end-to-end early on. And that favors North Texas just because of how Minnesota has struggled going back to the early part of the season in leaking goals. Through the first 5 matches this year, they gave up 15 goals. And that's what forced the conversation from Coach Hall with the entire team about, am I really giving you all this information away for you to understand it? North Texas trying to impact the scoreline. This cross will roll out. And Coach Hall looked inward, looked to the coaching staff to really put it on themselves to help this team be better defensively. And after they retaught the tools, retaught the game model and the skills necessary, that is what precipitated the change in May. 3 wins in the month of May, and was on the ballot for Team of the Month. And the difference between those matches, those wins, and their last match, the loss to Sporting Kansas City, was just finding themselves playing into old habits. And that's something they did not want to do today versus North Texas, a team Coach Hall said that they could not give easy nor early opportunities to. We're in the 11th minute of action, no score between North Texas and Minnesota in the Western Conference. Ball rolls out in front of Tanner Humphrey. Humphrey, another member of Oregon State, was the 44th overall pick in last year's draft, playing with his collegiate teammate. This ball slips through. Darub has to come off his line, and he dives for it with Mezanvi looming and looking for his 3rd goal of the season. Farrington on this ball for North Texas. Back towards Parker. We've already seen twice that Logan Farrington has found his way behind the back line. This ball dumped over the top. Fonseca took the touch, but he was offside. And as the match continues, expect to see more of the same. As Logan Farrington is a big target, has the pace to get behind the defense. We've already mentioned his finishing ability going back to his time with Oregon State, but also played for the University of Milwaukee and had 20 goals there. So scoring is a consistent part of his game. Fonseca. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allina Health. All together, better kinds of healthcare. Learn more at allinahealth.org. Another ball siphoned over the top. Intended target was Farrington. Dealing with it was Britton Fisher, but North Texas retakes possession on the wide side of the field. This is out for a goal kick. Fisher does well defensively on the end line. Garcia will almost force the turnover. And now the ball sent away. Mazanvi cannot beat Tanner Humphrey. And Darube dials up another deep ball. First ball dropping, and then won by Minnesota. Ipses. Kahn. Back to Britton Fisher. Greenville, North Carolina native, second year with Minnesota. Westergreen. Farrington. Parker. North Texas sharing the wealth right now. This is a part of their game model. Of course, today, Nico Estevez and North Texas parted ways. And so we'll see how that changes, if it changes, as Tyreek Scott will take a deep shot. And it is blocked away. And that will be a foul on Tomas Pondeca. Something we've seen throughout the time. That's Coach John Gall not going to be happy about that. But from top to bottom, North Texas does play out of the back very often, very calmly, very coolly, and takes their time. They're aggressive in their press. That's a foul on Mazanvi. And when you're aggressive in the press, you can create offensive opportunities that way. As the free kick taken quickly by North Texas. Slipped in towards Farrington. Endely through a couple of defenders. Herbert Endely looking for an angle. He's blocked away by Britton Fisher, but a corner upcoming for North Texas. Diego Garcia preparing to take the corner for the away side. 17th minute of action, no score between North Texas and Minnesota. Short corner taken. Ball flipped now into the box. Humphrey! And the ball stopped and pushed away by Oliver Kelly. As this ball lofted into the air, Humphrey is the man that went up for it, the biggest body in the box for North Texas. And Oliver Kelly had to parry it away. Another chance now for North Texas. Ball sent in. And this time it's cleared away by Minnesota. Endely right back into the box. This ball will bounce towards Oliver Kelly. 19 years of age, an academy player. And Coach Hall talked about all of the different young players that have been a part of this resurgence for Minnesota. Darius Randall, one of them. The 17-year-old was offside right there. But when asked about players that have surprised him, he mentioned Loic Menzambi, mentioned Darius Randall, and mentioned the fact that this team has had to have some academy goalkeepers play in key matches as of late. And that's something that is happening today. Diego Garcia for North Texas can't connect with Logan Farrington. Throw in coming. Westergrain. Corcha. Fonseca. Zombie cannot slip away from Mads Westergrain. Now Fonseca. Swerving, sends back to Westergrain. The ball trickles all the way back to the goalkeeper, Darub. He was a part of that Flamengo Academy from 2015 to 2021. He's making his first start today. Michael Colodi, who is serving that suspension, had been so good for North Texas. Endely can't make his way around one defender. Ball tapped to Pondeka, and he sends to Isaiah Parker. Isolated on the near side of the field. Parker trying to swerve into the box. Back to Fonseca. Centering ball. Garcia going back to Fonseca, and he puts it in. Pedro Fonseca, his fourth goal of the season, and North Texas takes a 1-goal lead on top of Minnesota. Wonderfully done. Fonseca continues the run, and the ball bounces right to him, and he scoots it right over the goalkeeper, as Kelly had already gone to ground trying to make himself big to stop the low shot. So a chip right over the goalkeeper, and a goal for Pedro Fonseca. Fonseca now has a goal contribution in 4 straight matches and 7 of his last 8. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allianz Life Insurance. Company of North America, proud worldwide insurance partner of the International Olympic and Paralympic Committees. Have a foul in the North Texas end. They will have the free kick. Played quickly back to Westergrain. Humphrey into Endley, but he is closed off. Throw-in coming from Minnesota. This is not how Minnesota wanted to start this match. As mentioned, they had figured things out defensively after struggling earlier in the year. But now in the past 2 matches have given up a total of 5 goals. Still plenty of time for them to figure things out here at home, as that's a turnover. Mazanvi into the path of Randall. Darius Randall cutting back onto his left foot. Centering ball blocked away. And Pondeka will just boot that away. Now Farrington is in. He'll shoot and could not keep it on frame with a wide open goal. Oliver Kelly and Britton Fisher were in no man's land as the two almost collide. They do collide, so Farrington, look what I found. But as he was going away from goal, could not curl it back in. And with nobody there, could have just placed it. But things always easier said than done, especially as we see it from up top. Will that moment come back to bite North Texas? They've been very consistent in finding 2-goal leads and then defending for the remainder of matches. That could have been that second goal early on. Tyreek Scott wins the race to the ball, tries to shift around the defender, but could not. And now the ball coming the other way. This is Darius Randall. Liberian native picks it up on the edge of the box. Randall shoots, and although it scoots up on top of Victor Darub, he easily will grab it with minimal spillage. And now North Texas almost loses possession. Tanner Humphrey, right place, right time. And Endley almost goes into 5th gear, but a slide tackle by Jesse Kahn stopped him in his tracks. Fisher. Now Nyman. Back towards Fisher. Picked up by Mazanvi. Nyman. Randall was offside as North Texas stepped at the same time. And that is the mark of a defense that is playing in sync. And what would you expect from a team that has allowed the least amount of goals in the league this season? Malik Jesse Kahn, who has a wrap around his wrist, is needing to step off the pitch for a moment. Goes by Jesse, his full name, Malik Jesse Kahn, the 20-year-old, his 3rd year with Minnesota. The Trinidadian international was sidelined last year with a hip injury after scoring 4 goals and 2 assists in 22 matches. Now on the sideline right now for Minnesota. Parker slips the ball towards Farrington. back in, and that required a stop. Isaiah Parker took the shot, and Oliver Kelly with the save. Farrington right to Parker, who took it first time, and Oliver Kelly ready for it. The set piece, however, for North Texas. Diego Garcia towards the near post, and first man there was Finn McRobb. Another corner coming for North Texas. Now some pushing and shoving between Ahmed Korcha and McRobb, just jockeying for position. Garcia once again towards the near post. It's headed away by Timur Ibsais. Indley will dump it back in, and Oliver Kelly will snag it for Minnesota. Boots the ball past midfield, and Mads Westergrain goes to Isaiah Parker for North Texas. We're in the 29th minute of action. North Texas leads 1-0. Goal scored by Pedro Fonseca, as he has just been a goal-contributing beast this season. Has contributed towards a goal in 7 out of his last 8 matches, including today, and has the goal that has North Texas in the lead. Westergrain will take it across midfield. Parker, Fonseca, Garcia, Endley, and Tyreek Scott on the ball. Farrington has a touch. Alex to work back to Westergrain, and now all the way back to Darub. Texas has been extremely patient the entire match, have dictated the pace of play. Tyreek Scott had eyes for his teammate Logan Farrington. Farrington did not continue the run. Dangerous pass to Moses Nyman, as Tyreek Scott was there. Jesse Kahn is back on the pitch. And looked to play Darius Randall through, but he was offside once again. For Kahn has a completely new wrap. Had a black wrap around his wrist. Now his wrist, and it looks like his thumb is also wrapped as well, just to make sure that it's stable and that he can continue. He is a necessary piece, making his 6th start of the season. Farrington on this ball. Logan Farrington blocked away. This ball still free in the box, and Britton Fisher has to push Isaiah Parker away. Logan Farrington has been active today, getting behind Minnesota. Minnesota does not want to continue playing with fire and the likes of Farrington. Fisher has his pass deflected by Farrington. And the press works to perfection for North Texas as they find themselves back in possession. The first teams met yesterday between Minnesota and North Texas. Of course, FC Dallas, the parent club for North Texas SC. And Minnesota United, the first team club in connection with Minnesota United FC2. And the final score was 1-1. Minnesota scoring first, North Texas scoring to equalize. With 8 players gone from international duty for the first team, which allowed for players like Jordan Adebayo-Smith. Zamvi was almost in behind. Khan. Mazanvi. Back to Randall. But scooping it up was Darub. Talk about Adebayo-Smith, talk about Victor Eriksson, a player that has spent time with this second team. Some of those guys getting some time with the first team. And Maz Westergrain goes down. He's holding at his face. And now Luik Mazanvi conversing with our head referee, Gerald Flores. Romanchin, Mazanvi, Ipse's back into the path of Jesse Khan. And he put a lot of power behind this shot, but not as much precision. Over the past 5 minutes, though, Minnesota has had maybe their 2 best chances getting forward. Maybe are starting to figure out the best route of attack against this very stringent North Texas defense. Romanchin towards Mazanvi, and he was offside. Mazanvi was looking at the assistant referee the entire time as that ball was rolling right in front of him. Is now the 5th offside of the first half for Minnesota. Tanner Humphrey takes this ball across midfield into Tyreek Scott, and Endley dumps it towards Farrington. Scott, like a speeding bullet, almost had a chance to take a shot. Oliver Kelly hadn't dove for the ball. And Tyreek Scott, who was coming off a knee injury from last year, is the team's leading scorer. And Coach Gall just talked at length about Tyreek Scott. First yellow card of the day going to Ahmet Korcha. There was a collision between him and Loic Mazanvi. And it warranted the yellow. Mazanvi taking a little bit longer to regain his bearings. Loic Mazanvi, a local product, former Academy member, played high school at Lakeville South High School in Lakeville, Minnesota. Made his first team debut earlier this year against Austin. Also played versus the Columbus Crew. So the player pathway working here in Minnesota for sure. From the academy to the second team, and another MLS Next Pro player that has made a first team appearance. We've seen it happen not only with Minnesota, but often for North Texas. Whether we talk about Bernard Kamungo for North Texas 2 years ago, in the first year of Next Pro, part of the best 11, one of the top goal scorers, and then being a consistent goal scorer for the first team last year with FC Dallas. Just so much opportunity, so much promise amongst all of these clubs in the league. You never know who you're going to see in a match like this and when they're going to make a first team impact. Fonseca. Now Westergrain. Parker steps in front of this ball. This could be trouble. Looking for Farrington. And Britton Fisher will clear that away. Dom Mowing was pointing at his head. Gerald Flores, the head referee, saying that the training staff needed to come out after having a conversation with Mowing, saying the training staff does not need to come out. And we continue. 4.5 minutes and some change remaining in this first half, plus stoppage time. Jesse Kahn fouled by Logan Farrington, so Minnesota will restart. Ipses into Romanchin, who could not hold up play, but did work hard to regain possession. Jesse Kahn dumps the ball towards Ipses. Can he win the race? No. The ball will roll out for a goal kick. Parker cannot keep that in. Ipses looking to play quickly for Minnesota on the throw-in. Parker, first man there for North Texas. Ball back with Jesse Kahn. Fisher to Duggan. Now out wide. Finn McRobb from Glasgow, Scotland. Back across to Mowing. Into the box. Tanner Humphrey will look to let it roll, but with the man bearing down his neck, sends it back. This is Jesse Kahn. Mazanvi out to Ipsais. Tamer Ipsais. Darius Randall. Now Mazanvi. No clear shot as Mads Westergrain sent that out behind. But a corner coming for Minnesota. First corner of the day for Minnesota. Jesse Kahn plays it short to Loic Mazanvi. Now the ball's into Cage Romanchin. Romanchin is pushed down by Logan Farrington. Not enough contact to warrant anything other than shouts from the crowd. Now Isaiah Parker can't put it forward, but it's out for a throw-in. This portion of the match is brought to you by Bell Bank. Switch and see how banking should be. Fonseca into Tyreek Scott. Scott could not control, showing a bit of frustration as we enter into the 45th minute of action. 1-0 North Texas in front of Minnesota. North Texas trying to continue this 3-match win streak. Minnesota trying to make it wins in 4 of their last 5 matches. Both teams have been in pretty good form over the past month. Excellent time for them to meet. Fonseca on the edge of the box. Garcia couldn't control the hot square ball. And now this ball drops over the top for Darius Randall. Randall 1v2. Randall shoots. Oh! Almost scores. Required a save from Darube. Found an angle and almost found the back of the net. Finally, Minnesota finds a man streaking in the channel. And you see Randall could not curl it past the goalkeeper, Victor Darube. Jesse Kahn, out-swinging ball. That'll bounce in the box. Humphrey back to Jesse Kahn. So still danger. Fisher towards the back post. Oh, almost an own goal. Still free. Ball blocked this time by Humphrey. And finally cleared away by Pondeka. Some late life for Minnesota. The fourth official announcing a minimum of 2 minutes of added time. We've played a minute or so. Here, Matt Westergrain was there on the line. And then the shot from Darius Randall could not beat the fray. And in the end, it was Tomas Pondeka to clear away the danger completely. What a late moment for Minnesota. Ipsais sends it back in. Minimal time remaining in this first half. Cage Romanchin will turn. And Darius Randall doing his best to stay on side, but that means he was on the wrong side of Ahmet Korcha. Ipsais trying to play it quickly. Randall back to Ipsais. Ball rolls out for a throw, and that will be the final action of the first half. Minnesota could not find their equalizing goal in stoppage time. North Texas scored early in this match. Pedro Fonseca has the deciding goal right now, 1-0. We go to halftime. We'll have a conversation with Roy Lassiter after the break.
Messi! La pelota para que llegue. It's contact and a shot. Mamita querida, qué golazo! Magnifique frappe. Really sweet. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Puerta al frente. Servicio. El tiro. Con autoridad el centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área le pega, golazo. Amor el gol. Parte externa, va a definir Chicho.
Vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, con las manos en la cabeza, sacúdete, sacúdete, mira, sacúdete.
All right, MLS store, I need something fresh and clean. Let's see what you got. I need that in my size. It's not like this. Cream on cream? The fit is cold. I'm ice cream. You like that?
Welcome back to Blaine, Minnesota. Halftime between North Texas and Minnesota United. Minnesota down to North Texas 1-0. Coming up right now, Michelle Montaigne catches up with Carolina Corps head coach Roy Lassiter.
Well, guys, I don't know how I got lucky enough to be sitting down with Roy Lassiter, but here we are in High Point, North Carolina, with the head coach of Carolina Corps. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
Coach, I would imagine you're pretty happy for me to be saying the words. We're here in High Point, North Carolina, after 9 straight away games to open your season. Can you try to put into perspective how challenging that actually is, playing 9 straight away?
Yeah, Michelle, it's been very, very challenging. It's, we're playing 9 away games. I don't think anybody in the country or anybody anywhere has probably played 9 straight. And I'm pretty sure somebody has, but it is extremely difficult, right? Not only not being able to sleep in your own bed, but having to travel and play at foreign stadiums and crowds against you, with the travel in between all of that. So it's been very hard, but the young men have learned a lot of lessons. I've gotten to know a lot of the players a little bit better and my staff a little bit better, just being on the road. But it's been some challenging things, but I've looked forward to that.
On the note of the home opener, there is so much excitement building, not only around the league or around the team, but the entire community. How have you personally felt that, the support from everyone here?
It's been tremendous. A lot of support. First and foremost, I'm super grateful to have the opportunity to coach this team, being around the top-notch professional staff that I have, and being able just to coach the young men that I have. I'm super privileged for that, and you know, just super excited to be honest with you, to have this moment. It's a historical moment. It's a moment that the club has been looking forward to for a year now, and they've worked really, really hard to dig into the community, to dig into organizations and companies and associations to get the awareness and get our badge out there of who we are, that we're in town, and so we're really looking forward to that game.
I've been here for a matter of a couple hours, and I've already had encounters with people out in the community about how excited they are for you guys to be here playing at home. Are there any fun stories or anecdotes from your experience around town?
You know, we see bumper stickers all over the place. There's a lot of places I go, and people are already calling me coach, and I'm seriously feel very, very privileged because of that. And I know High Point is a small town, so everybody kind of knows everybody. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But it's been really, really good. Getting to know a lot of people that are in the community, people in the universities, and they got season tickets, and we'll be at the game. I'm on the flight coming home, and there's people that are already saying, you know, we already have our tickets already. So those kind of things are really, really nice to know, and know that we're going to have that 12th man coming up this weekend. So those are all good feelings.
Coach, I know you had some experience with the club in Houston as an assistant, so MLS Next Pro overall isn't brand new to you, but this club, this organization is all new. What's your experience been like? I know we're only a third of the way through this season, but how has it been different running the independent side of things?
Well, I think first and foremost, they've been open to asking questions. You know, what works here, what doesn't work here, things that are needed from the professional staff, stuff that is needed for players. We have a lot of young people that work in the organization that are always asking questions on how should I do this, how should I do that. So I'm really thankful for that, for allowing us as professionals and the professional staff that we have to give our input to them and to help them. We don't have all the answers, but we can have them according to our experiences. So I'm really, really glad that I'm able to interject that, and that has made things a little bit smoother. So, but things are going well.
All right, now you've been around a long time, from your days as a player to now coaching. How have you seen the MLS enterprise progress from back in your playing days to now coaching the developmental side of things?
Yeah, it's much more organized. It's much more organized. The interest from the community, the public, is greater. Obviously, we're getting much well-known players. So the organization is really, really growing. Now MLS can pick and choose which cities they want to branch out into. And now just having MLS Next Pro. I can only imagine if I was 16, 17 years old playing in MLS Next Pro, probably would have been a better soccer player. It would have been a better platform for me. I could see my path a little bit better. So I'm really happy for that. To be a part of that, to have been a part of the foundation that paved that way for players now being able to have Major League Soccer, but also have MLS Next Pro that they can develop in and get to that next level.
Imagining an even better Roy Lassiter is hard to do. But Coach, thank you so much for the time.
You're quite welcome.
Vamos, dale pues, mamá ya, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, con las manos en la cabeza, sacúdete, 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 mira, sacúdete.
really sweet. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Para Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Huerta. Al frente. Servicio. El tiro.
It's saved by Carlos Corner. Con autoridad el centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área. Le pega. Golazo. Parte externa para definir Chicho.
All right, MLS store, I need something fresh and clean. Let's see what you got. I need that in my size. Cream on cream? The fit is cold. I'm ice cream. You like that?
Welcome back to the National Sports Center Stadium in Blaine, Minnesota. Minnesota United FC2 taking on North Texas SC. Minnesota down 0-1 right now. Time to take a look at the first half highlights. North Texas, the lone team to score, and they were the team that was on the front foot from the beginning. Really made it difficult for Minnesota to create, and that's to be expected with how well North Texas is defensively. In this first corner, Oliver Kelly getting his first opportunity this season to start. Farrington, that time hit the post. Check that his second opportunity to start for Oliver Kelly. This was almost a goal for North Texas. Here's where the goal commenced. Ball just dropped right back to Pedro Fonseca, and he clipped it over the goalkeeper for his fourth of the season. And Pedro Fonseca has had a hand in goals in 7 of the last 8 matches. He's been fantastic for the away side. And this was almost goal number 2. Logan Farrington trying to power that ball into the back of the net. This was the best save of the first half by Oliver Kelly as he pushed that ball away. And this was a consistent story for Minnesota. They had multiple offside penalties. This was an excellent chance as Darius Randall was playing 1v2, found an angle to shoot, and then here, a lot of chaos. Randall, this time blocked away by Tanner Humphrey. Here are the first half statistics. Total shots for North Texas, +1, and shots on target, +1 for the away side. And really for Minnesota, they started to find their footing late in that match. Really from the 35th minute on is when they had their best chances after really finding out how they wanted to attack the back line that was playing a little high. They could not get behind. And so that'll be the key for the Loons in the second half. Here is the schedule for the match day. You see St. Louis winning on Thursday. They took all 3 points, which means they moved ahead of North Texas in the Western Conference right now. And Chicago and Chattanooga drawing. And with Cincinnati and going ahead of Philadelphia, now there is a tie at the top of the Eastern Conference between Chattanooga and Philadelphia, and a tie for 3rd and 4th in the Eastern Conference between Chicago and Cincinnati. So there's been a lot of movement this week, and there will be movement for the remainder of the season. All of these teams, there's a lot of parity and have high expectations in both the Eastern and Western Conference as this year goes on. Preparing for the second half, we start with the keys for Minnesota. Coach Jeremy Hall saying that we wanted to get back to our old ways for the past couple of matches And that means that they wanted to stay connected. They wanted to get back to the defensive principles that they put out when they put their wins together. They are winners of 3 of their last 4 matches. Wins against some tough teams like Ventura County and Tacoma. Also won versus Colorado. And in those matches, they gave up a total of 1 goal. And so to go from giving up 15 goals in your first 5 matches to giving up 1 goal over a 3-match winning streak really shows that when Coach Hall talked with his team about the defensive principles, about attacking defensively together and not individually, they really took to that coaching, and it showed on the field. And then had a bit of a setback versus Kansas City last time out and have found themselves behind North Texas in this match. And so can they get back to doing things collectively, attacking defensively at the same time, stepping at the same time? That's going to be the difference if they can stay succinct defensively and find an equalizing goal. Gerald Flores blows his whistle. Now we begin the second half as the keys for North Texas doing what they've done all year, being stingy defensively. We'll say it once, we'll say it again. They have allowed the least amount of goals of any team in the entire league, just 8 through 11 matches. And they have stayed consistent in the fact that they've gone ahead most matches. Rarely find themselves behind. And when you are ahead of teams, you can dictate the pressure you put on. You can dictate your press, as Darius Randall pushing down Tanner Humphrey. You can dictate the match. And that's what North Texas has done here today. 1 change for Minnesota at the break. Rory O'Driscoll comes on for Cage Romanchin. O'Driscoll making his 7th appearance of the season, still looking for his first goal. As that's a foul on Moses Nyman, the former DC United homegrown. Setting the tone once again, North Texas leading 1-0, goal scored by Pedro Fonseca in the first half. North Texas looking to make it 4 straight wins. Started this year undefeated in 7 straight before losing to the Town. That is their lone road loss, their lone loss of the season at all. And after that loss to the Town, they have put together 3 straight wins. Fonseca, nowhere to go as Morris Duggan closed him down. Duggan, the 67th overall pick from Marshall in the 2024 draft. Former first-team All-Sun Belt at Marshall. Nyman. McRobb, hounded by Hurricane. This ball scoots free. Mazanvi takes a touch, and Westergrain just shields him off and allows the ball to roll to Victor Darub. And you just see the stature of Westergrain, Ahmed Korcha, and Tanner Humphrey. The exact profile you want from your center backs. Mazanvi pushed off the ball again. This is tapped forward to Jesse Kahn. Slip to McRobb. Back to Mazanvi. Goal kick. McRobb, a wonderful ball back into the area. Mazanvi, a good look at it, but could not tuck it in low and away to that far post. More of the same, however, for Minnesota to start this second half. That's exactly what Coach Hall wants to see. The conversation at the half had to have been about the way that the Loons ended the first half. more on the front foot, finding themselves more often in the attacking third. And this week, Coach Hall said we're going to have opportunities. We have to be brave and execute. Once again, an attack that stops, but Mazamvi and company were around the area. Tyreek Scott, lots of speed on the ball now. Scott still racing forward. Could not beat two defenders in front of him. That was Duggan and McRobb. Rory O'Driscoll, his first touch, finds him on the pitch, fouled by Pedro Fonseca. O'Driscoll races into the space. Had eyes for Mazamvi making the run. Now Diego Garcia goes to Logan Farrington. Fonseca. Farrington. Forward to Diego Garcia, who will attack the left wing. Garcia has his cross blocked away by Britton Fisher, and North Texas has a corner. Pedro Fonseca leads this team with 4 assists. Serves the ball towards the near post. It's headed away. Indali back towards the box. And now this ball's hit by Pondeca, only as far as to Tyreek Scott. And Mazamvi forward for Minnesota as they look to break. Tanner Humphrey galloping back will grab it for North Texas and close down the counterattack attempt. A word used by Coach Gall to describe this North Texas side. This is 2 words: extremely competitive. And this team really wants to win, and they really take to coaching. The term used was squeeze. The team likes to be squeezed in regards to trying to get the most out of them every training session, every time they step on the pitch. And that's been evident in the way that they played up to this point in the season. This ball scoots out to Mazamvi on the edge of the box. Ipsays sends it in, headed away by Mads Westergrain. Fisher scoops the ball over the top. Ipsays volleys. And Darub at the near post there for it. Mazamvi picks it up. O'Driscoll out to Darius Randall, who is onside. Randall to Mazamvi, who could not control inside the 6. But not a bad idea, as the quality And the expressiveness of Minnesota starting to show between Randall and Mazamvi. That's exactly what Minnesota wants to see, especially at this stage. They do have firepower on the bench. Patrick Weah, who is tied for second in the league in goals with 7, still waiting to potentially come on. Herbert Endeli steps in front of that and looks to clear it away. Now, ball won back by McRobb. O'Driscoll, Mazamvi, and Tyreek Scott brings that attack to a close. Fonseca looks to go in behind to Farrington. It is cleared away by Dom Mowing. High up the field by Moses Nyman. McRobb cannot navigate the ball around Tanner Humphrey. And the attack might be on for North Texas. Herbert Endeli upended, and that will be a yellow card for Finn McRobb. And you can see Endeli was racing into space. So, as they would deem on the pitch a professional foul, did not want to allow the attack to simmer any further. Endeli played at Indiana, has some fans here as you can hear. And this time a foul on Randall. This is Jesse Kahn. Garcia. Westergrain. Now back to Humphrey. There's a foul, and that is Pondeca who goes down. Farrington on the inline, looking for options. We'll go back to Diego Garcia. Two-play pass, now Farrington. Into Scott. Minnesota looking to come the other way, but Finn McRobb dials up another deep shot. This ball will bounce. Humphrey does well to stay in front. Nyman into Mazamvi. And Jesse Kahn back to Mazamvi, but he was offside. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allina Health, an all-together better kind of healthcare. Learn more at allinahealth.org.
Substitution for MNUFC2, 61st minute. Leading the game, number 57, Darius Randall.
Darius Randall will come off, and Aiden Martinez will come on for Minnesota. This ball drops to Farrington. Farrington cannot beat Oliver Kelly. Corner for North Texas. A beautiful ball from Westergrain. Off the hop, Farrington just steps in front of Dom Mowing. And after taking his touch, had his shot. But Oliver Kelly, another save. Diego Garcia to deliver it. 63rd minute of action. Ball comes in. Left for a shot by Pondeca. Endely around to Garcia once again. Garcia cannot get around Ipses initially. Garcia still with it. Can't slip it to Tyreek Scott. So now, Timur Ipses locates Loic Mazamvi. Ball comes to Nyman. Some space to play into. Out wide. A chance for Minnesota. No power behind the shot, however. Still a chance as the ball works back to Ipses. McRobb. Finn McRobb. Mazamvi takes the shot, and Victor Darube, a stonewall for North Texas. Mazamvi, a great chance, but you see Darube, he sees it the entire way, a full dive, and kept it out of the back of the net. Nyman receives back from Martinez. And McRobb dug in. Ball will scoot to Mowing. Mazamvi again can't slither through. But Martinez wins it back. Nyman out wide to McRobb. Martinez receives it back from Jesse Kahn. But Martinez with a miss hit.
Substitution for North Texas SC.
Again, this is a wonderful passage of play and an excellent chance, but a shot that Aiden Martinez will want back. Tyreek Scott and Diego Martinez both will come off. And then Sali and Anthony Ramirez come on. Endely slowed down by McRobb. O'Driscoll, Nyman. Farrington coming forward for North Texas. And not a bad idea, as Enisali was in behind, but Farrington could not connect. The decision is North Texas, so they will have the throw in. As we work our way into the 68th minute of action, and there's such a difference between one season to another, one might be surprised, but when asked, is there anything that has surprised Coach Gall for North Texas, he said, surprise wouldn't be the word. He's been pleased with multiple performances from his side and just believes that the team is acclimating itself to the culture that he and the rest of his coaching staff is trying to put together and produce. And because the team is comfortable in the culture, they have been playing very confidently. And with confidence and competitiveness breeds results. And that has been the case for North Texas up to this point. Mention started their first match. First 7 matches this season undefeated. And after falling, have won their last 3. And currently leading Minnesota right now. But the run of play in the second half has been more in Minnesota's favor. North Texas has done what they do best defensively. They've kept things clean up to this point. No goals on the scoreboard for Minnesota, but have to be careful. Now Minnesota with a free kick. Nice turn by Aiden Martinez. Still on the ball as Martinez sprays it wide. Ipses keeps it in on the touchline. Fisher into Nyman. McRobb takes a touch towards O'Driscoll. Around to Ipses. Ball moving with purpose right now for Minnesota, but the attack fizzles out. And Aiden Martinez checked out Rory O'Driscoll and will go into the book.
Yellow card caution issued to MNUFC2's number 34, Rory O'Driscoll.
O'Driscoll has come on as a substitute. Now will go into the book. Finn McRobb, the other Minnesota United player who is in the book. Lazamvi tries to get around Westergrain. And that'll be a foul on Mazamvi. 20 minutes plus added time remaining. We talked about North Texas and their defensive prowess. Right now, 11 shots for Minnesota, 10 for North Texas. Both teams have 4 shots on target, but it has felt like Minnesota has been the more aggressive side and have had the better chances here in the second half. This portion of the match is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota. You and Blue, better together. Humphrey into Solly. Now Farrington still with it. Parker back to Solly. Now Parker racing forward, tries to put the brakes on. And as Solly, the substitute, slipping into the box, but his shot does not beat Britton Fisher. Ramirez cannot circle around Martinez, and Minnesota deals with the danger. Farrington, a giveaway to Duggan. Gets it back from Jesse Kahn. A touch from Ipses. And Westergrain along with Ahmed Korcha both there. And now Minnesota will have a corner. Just the third corner of the day for Minnesota as we enter into the 74th minute. North Texas leading 1-0 on top of the home side. A set piece for the Loons. Ball comes in off the bounce, and McRobb off of a North Texas defender. So Minnesota will do it again. Rory O'Driscoll, 2 assists last season, sends this ball in, bouncing free in the box. Now Mazamvi airmails this out of play. The First initial action, a dangerous one as the ball was just inside the 6. It was cleared away, and Mazamvi, amongst a lot of traffic, tried to go over it rather than through it. And the ball went out of play. And O'Driscoll, who just pushed down Tomas Pondeka. Gerald Flores has gone into for a yellow card. And that will be a second yellow. If you're O'Driscoll, you have to know that you're already on a yellow and you can't do anything that would warrant something more. You can see here that O'Driscoll with a 2 full-arm shove, and he can't believe it, but it's warranted. Although Tomas Pondeka was standing in front of the ball, and you see that from time to time. If a player has some frustration, they'll like to move the player away. But if you're O'Driscoll, you just can't do that. And so now, North Texas will play up a man for the remainder of the match. So Abdul Zaneh comes on for Ahmet Korcha. And Nicholas Mendonca also comes onto the pitch for North Texas as they are now up a man, looking to continue their success and make it 4 straight. And things get a little more difficult for Minnesota, in danger of dropping 2 straight after falling to Sporting Kansas City last time out. McRobb cannot keep that in. Throw in coming for North Texas. Indali. Solly. All the way back to Westergrain. North Texas will no doubt be looking to put the finishing touches on this one and look for some insurance up the man. This has been an aggressive, competitive side all year. And we'll be looking for the knockout. Zane. Mazamvi does well defensively, but Zane wins it back. Indali, too heavy of a touch as he had eyes for Logan Farrington. Duggan back to the goalkeeper, Oliver Kelly, who has not had a bad day despite giving up the goal. Has made multiple big-time saves. This portion of the match is brought to you by Target. Target is here for the love of the Loons. 80th minute of action. North Texas leads 1-0, and Minnesota now down a man after the second yellow was picked up by Rory O'Driscoll after coming on as a substitute. North Texas looking for the knockout punch. Ball left for Zane, and there it is. Abdul Zane comes on and scores for North Texas, 2-0. First goal of the season for Zane. And Logan Farrington has been free multiple times this match. He's hit the post, and rather than shoot for himself, decided to give it up to his teammates. And that is an assist in the first next pro start of the season for Logan Farrington. And Abdul Zane comes on and no doubt puts North Texas in a great position for 4 straight. Julian Banks and Patrick Weah on the pitch now for Minnesota. This is Ramirez. This pass is blocked away. With Weah coming onto the pitch, can be a difference maker. Will be difficult. Minnesota down the man, but comes in with 7 goals on the year. That is tied for second in the league. What's interesting about the Golden Boot race is that Rold Mitchell, who plays for New York, has had the lead in the Golden Boot race for almost 2 months, despite not playing a match due to his injury. A yellow card will be shown to Aiden Martinez for the tackle of Herbert Endely. North Texas preparing to bring on a substitution. This is just a competitive mentality from Herbert Endely. Just wanted to continue in possession, no matter if he had fallen to the pitch, had been pushed down, brought down. So Malik Henry Scott comes on for Pedrinho. And North Texas now has a chance for more from this free kick. Farrington from far away over the crossbar.
Substitute for MNUFC2 in the 84th minute. Leading the pitch.
Andrew Heckenleibel preparing to come on. Morris Duggan is the man that will come off. Heckenleibel making his 6th appearance of the season. Another academy member, just 18 years of age. This is Nyman. Weah cannot play. Julian Banks through. Ramirez. Malik Henry Scott. Banks coming in, trying to make things difficult, but North Texas, as they've been all day, cool and calm under pressure. Solly still with it. Can't connect with Logan Farrington. And now Aiden Martinez. Back to McRobb. Ipses. Not enough speed to get past Herbert Endely. And now Tamer Ipses goes down. So Ipses being stretched out right now. And you see, just trying to get around Herbert Endely, and that's a tough task. And immediately Ipses grabbing at his right leg, the back of his leg, and now stretching. Looks like he might be able to continue. Will need help to his feet. His first ball was hit by Farrington. Second ball won by Zane, and North Texas will be in possession in the 87th minute. Trying to put the finishing touches on this match. Would be 4 straight, and it would be another clean sheet for a team that leads the league in least goals given up. As it stands right now, would be 8 goals allowed through 12 matches. And if you want to know a formula on how to be successful in Next Pro, you can look back to Austin FC last year. They led the league in the same category, least goals given up, and they were the champions. Columbus Crew 2 in 2022 had all of the sauce, but they had multiple first-team players who are now getting first-team minutes, whether it's Patrick Schulte or Jason Russell-Rowe on that 2022 team. And Schulte, of course, an excellent goalkeeper, and now is the goalkeeper for the first team. 88th minute, set piece for Minnesota. Moses Nyman stands behind it as Minnesota looks for some late life at home. There's a foul by Zane. So another free kick coming for Minnesota. This one from a much deeper distance. Ipses comes back onto the pitch, and Nyman once again looks to provide service. On a line, does not beat Isaiah Parker. As Zane brings it down to Mendonca. Endely. To Malik Henry Scott. Older brother of Tariq Scott. Could not get around Ipses. And then was fouled.
Zane.
Mendonca. Ramirez to Enes Sali. Speeding forward. Sali! And there it is. A third for North Texas. And they can sense all 3 points now. Enes Sali just went into a different gear. And this not at the easiest angle, but the near post was available. And Enes Sali knocked the door down. 3 goals now for Sali on the season. Fourth official announcing a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time. This ball drops for Patrick Weah. Weah, a wall in front of him as he tries to break through, somehow does, and that required a stop from Victor Darub. Collision between Finn McRobb and Malik Henry Scott. And time will tick off now. As you can see, Patrick Weah and Tanner Humphrey just having a conversation about how Weah, who was in a phone booth, somehow slithered through and almost sent this ball central. And that just shows you the quality that Patrick Weah has. And he doesn't score 7 goals on a season by accident. It's because he's able to swerve through tight spaces. And Sali is fouled. Now Zane. Sali. Lots of numbers in the box for North Texas. Zane can't get a piece of it as Oliver Kelly takes it off his boot. Aiden Martinez loses possession to Mendonca. And that'll do it. North Texas victorious on the road. The final, Minnesota 0, North Texas 3. And that is now 4 straight wins for North Texas as they move back to the top of the Western Conference table. And now it's time for the Adidas Man of the Match for North Texas. It is Pedro Fonseca, or Pedrinho. Sends this ball out to Diego Garcia, receives it back, and scores what would be the game-winning goal way back in the 21st minute of play. And as mentioned, he's been a part of a lot of the success for North Texas over the past few games. Now a goal contribution in 4 straight matches. Today's goal contribution, the game-winning goal. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm James Hadnot. Thank you so much once again for tuning in. In the Western Conference, Minnesota 0, North Texas 3 is your final score. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Have a blessed evening.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.